Ask the leader of the ECOWAS delegation to give us a few minutes so that they can display the report on the desktop of the just computer. Just 2 minutes. Just give us 2 minutes so we can access the report. Where are you? Okay. So just 2 minutes. You go to manuscript. Colleagues, you go to manuscript on the desktop. You click on the manuscript. Colleagues, you go to manuscript. Scroll right down. Scroll right down. You will see reports of the 2025 second ordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament. Right down on the desktop. That's the first one, the PDF file. So the second report on the same line, you will see the last one with the red writing, PDF file 2. That's for the other people. So now you can proceed. So that's the format. You go to the manuscript on the desktop and you scroll down to the last files and you will click on the PDF file for ECOWAS ordinary session report. Mr. Speaker, thank you for your patience. You can continue. Mr. Speaker, we are done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Proactive Leader, for your observation. I'll continue. In this session, the President of the ECOWAS Commission presented the country work program, highlighting priorities such as regional peace and security, economic development, free movement, and the planned introduction of a single currency by 2027. Honorable members, country reports were presented by member states, and Sierra Leone's report was commended, particularly for efforts in combating drug abuse and for its leadership role at the United Nations Security Council. In this session, the report of the sensitization mission on drug abuse and mental health conducted in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia was also presented and discussed. The session also marks the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the ECOWAS Parliament, and the event featured a commemorative ceremony and a reflection of the future of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the second report, summary report of the 2026 first Parliamentary Seminar and first extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, pursuant to Article 27(2) of the Supplementary Act A/SA.1/12/16, the ECOWAS Parliament convened its 2026 first Parliamentary Seminar and first extraordinary session from 20th February to 1st March 2026 in Abuja, Federal Republic of Nigeria. The parliamentary seminar held from the 23rd to the 25th February 2026 under the theme, Deepening Regional, I quote, Deepening Regional Integration through the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, end of quote, aim to strengthen the capacity of members to support, advocate for, and oversee the implementation of the AFCFTA as a vehicle for enhancing intra-community trade and regional integration. Deliberations focused on the strategic role of AFCFTA in promoting economic integration, industrialization, and sustainable development. Key issues discussed included the persistence of non-tariff barriers, weak infrastructure, limited awareness, regulatory inconsistencies, and the need for harmonized legal frameworks. The importance of free movement of persons, parliamentary oversight, and domestication of AFCFTA protocols was strongly emphasized. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the seminar made recommendations to member states, ECOWAS Commission, ECOWAS Parliament. As for the first ordinary session, it focused on the consideration and adoption of the ECOWAS Parliament 2026 work plan, setting the legislative oversight priorities for the year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with these few comments, I beg to lay on the table these two reports. Thank you very much.
Is that how you acknowledge a great leader of this house? Proceed. Associate member.
Government motion. Proposer. Honorable Matthews M. Selling. Seconder.
It's
Honorable.
not government motion. Private member motion. Repeat that.
Motion. Proposer. Honorable Mustafa M. Selling. Seconder. Honorable Ambrose M. Levy.
Indicate private member motion. Private member motion. Let that be indicated clearly. Proceed.
Private member motion. Proposer. Honorable Mustafa M. Selling. Seconder. Honorable Ambrose Mother Levy.
No, you don't need to come here. You are a member of Parliament. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, be it resolved that pursuant to Section 4 of Section 93 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act No. 6 of 1991, which empowers Parliament to appoint committees to investigate and inquire into matters of public interest, and in accordance with Standing Orders 24 to government motions for debate. I rise to move that this Honorable House do resolve to 1. Institute a parliamentary inquiry into the operations of the National Electoral Watch, new, being a consortium of civil society organizations operating within the Republic of Sierra Leone. 2. examine and scrutinize the financial flows, source of funding, expenditure, and accountability mechanisms of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. 3. Mandate the appropriate committee of Parliament to conduct a thorough investigation and report its findings and recommendations to this House within a specified time frame. 4. Ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest with due regards to transparency, accountability, and the integrity of democratic governance. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to give brief explanation for this motion. Recently concluded the nationwide district level election with strong participation between the 2nd and the 24th of March 2026. The National Election Watch, NEW, conclude the conduct of each district level election in all 17 operational districts across the country. Bond district was divided into 2 due to its riverine topography. The exercise, which was facilitated by 2 teams comprising secretariat staff and regional coordinators, resulted in the election of district coordinators, secretariat, and district team for all the districts. The district team are tasked with the responsibility of reviewing, verifying the existing chiefdom focal persons of all chiefdoms in their respective districts and or operating new ones where necessary. 442 out of 497 organizations in the voter register participated in the election across the country, representing 88.9% of voter turnout. A key highlight of the election was the meticulous verification of new membership in each district. The initial district membership lists were compiled by the district team based on organizations that have successfully completed the registration and approval process, subsequently submitted to the new secretariat. To build trust and ensure fairness and transparency, these lists were projected before the full district membership and carefully verified one by one. All concerns raised by members of organizations were thoroughly addressed before each election committee. The new leadership recognizes and appreciates the support of partners institutions such as SLAG, who observe the process at all levels, ECSL, PPRC, and ONS, who observe the process in some districts, and the Independent Radio Network, who hosted the new team on their radio program across the country. This initiative was funded by the European Union through the International IAD. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am with a press release here from the ONS, Office of National Security, making that position very clear that they are not part of this process. With a leave, I read, Mr. Speaker. The attention of the leadership of the Office of National Security, ONS, has been drawn to a report on social media which claims that ONS observed nationwide district level election conducted by NEW. The report, which is titled NEW Concludes Nationwide District Level Election with Strong Participation, stated that the election, which we are claimed to have been conducted between 2nd and 24th March 2026, had officers of ONS deployed in the provinces and part of the list of other stakeholders institutions that witnessed the alleged election. Contrary to this claim, it can be unequivocally stated that when contacted, ONS personnel deployed in the provinces have strongly denied any knowledge of elections held being new in recent times. Neither did they have knowledge, nor were they ever invited to participate in any election conducted by NEW, either in the provinces or the western area. Furthermore, not at any given point in recent times was the leadership of the ONS informed about the conduct of elections of such nature conducted by NEW. As procedural requirements for ONS personnel to participate in such nationwide exercise, it behoves the organization to formally inform the ONS leadership, which only has the authority to sanction the participation of its personnel in any activity. Therefore, let this piece serve as a strong disclaimer that ONS was not part of any team that observe nationwide district level election purportedly conducted by NIU. The ONS did not participate in election conducted by NIU, neither of the stated dates, nor at any recent times in memory. The ONS takes great exception to the mentioning of its name in any event which chance of coherence with remain mockery. End of press release. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, be it resolved that pursuant to subsection 4 of section 93 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, which empowers Parliament to appoint committees to investigate or inquire into matters of public interest, and in accordance with standing orders 24 to govern motion of debate, I rise to move that this honorable House do resolve to 1. Institute a parliamentary inquiry into the operations of the National Election Watch, NIU, being a consortium of civil society organizations operating within the Republic of Sierra Leone, examine and scrutinize the financial flows, sources of funding, expenditure, and accountability mechanism of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. Mandates the appropriate committee of Parliament to conduct a thorough investigation and report its findings and recommendations to this House within a specified time frame. Ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest, with due regards to transparency, accountability, and in the integrity of democracy and governance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Selu. The standing order is 25-2 instead of 24-2. It's 25-2 instead of 24-2. Mr. Clerk, I direct that the necessary alteration be entered into the book pursuant to 25-2B. Any seconder?
I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the question is that pursuant to subsection 4 of section 93 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, which empowers Parliament to appoint committees to investigate or inquire into matters of public interest, and in accordance with Standing Order 25-2 governing motions for debate, 1. Institute a parliamentary inquiry into the operations of the National Elections Watch, NIU, being a consortium of civil society organizations operating within the Republic of Sierra Leone. 2. Examine and scrutinize the financial flows, sources of funding, expenditures, and accountability mechanisms of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. 3. Mandate the appropriate committee of Parliament to conduct a thorough investigation and report its findings and recommendations to this House within the specified time frame. And 5. Ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest with due regard to transparency, accountability, and the integrity of democratic governance. Yes, Mr. Seconder.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to draw the attention of this House to just concluded 2023 general elections, which involvement and post-elections activity of the National Elections Watch almost dragged this nation into civil disobedience. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Sierra Leone is a sovereign state. Sierra Leone is governed by laws, and nobody, no individual or group of individuals is above the laws of this nation. Mr. Speaker, it was in this country we all saw the actions of the National Elections Watch, NEW, that was anticipating for the 2023 general elections to be dragged into a runoff. Mr. Speaker, it was alleged that that action was as a result of a mere $2 million that was seated elsewhere, whether it was Qatar Center or the European Union, wherever. But it was highly rumored that was the reason behind the action of National Elections Watch. Mr. Speaker, like I said initially, nobody or group of individual or institution is not above the law. If for any reason some organization's action tends to drag this nation into confusion, especially post-war, post-elections activities, there is every reason, Mr. Speaker, for that institution or individual to be brought to book. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the head of the then leader of the National Elections Watch, Madam Marcella Samba, was all over the radios, the media houses, making claims that the SLDP-led government did not win the elections on the first ballot. And Mr. Speaker, I want to state here categorically that their mandate, or she as an individual, does it have the power, or even the organization she is leading? I am not sure they have done transition. They are still working on it. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Madam Samba made series of claims that their records shows that the elections were supposed.
Mr. Seconder, be guided. Be guided. This is not about elections. Be guided.
Mr. Speaker, I'm giving my.
Be guided. This, what I have before me, what is before this house, is not about elections. It's not about claims related to elections. So be guided. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, new claim that they have over 400 membership, 400 civil society organizations that made up of the consortium. But Mr. Speaker, at this moment, I am not sure the membership of NEW is up to 400. They even struggle to get up to 50 active civil society organizations. Mr. Speaker, money is given to them for and on behalf of the people of this country. The people of Sierra Leone need to know the source of these monies and why it was actually given to them. The amount must be clearly stated, and they must account as to how these monies were expended. We are asking that, we are humbly requesting that this House constitutes a committee to look into the activities and monies expended from 2016 to date. Mr. Speaker, when they were making their claims, they never mentioned who the monies that were given to them and for what purpose and how they were expended. how much was given was not stated, but I can tell you we have done our research and we can confirm that lots of money we are allegedly giving to them for elections monitoring. But I can tell you, with their claims, with a lot of claims you are making, NIU cannot account for how many elections observers they deployed right across the country. In my constituency, I can state categorically that NIU observers, we are not present in certain polling stations. I wonder how they came to conclusion that they are having data from all polling centers. Mr. Speaker, at this moment, being the people's representative, we are humbly requesting that this House form a committee to look into the monies given to NIU, a ad hoc committee, to ensure that we scrutinize the accounts and know how these monies were expended. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ambrose Madaledi. Yes, Honorable Mohammed Bangura.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, honorable members.
Good morning.
The issue, Mr. Speaker, of 2023 elections is absolute at this time. The issue of 2023 election is absolute at this time. NIU has been in operation since 2002. 2002. Every calendar elections here, they come out with a prediction. Since 2002. But Mr. Speaker, this morning, I would humbly want to request to you, I would not want to open my mouth on this issue. Because if I do, kind of forms will come out. I would ask you, Mr. Speaker, to humbly look at this issue in a very close look. I would ask for you to put a suspension or hold on the establishment of this committee until further notice. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mohammed Bangura. Yes, Honorable
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is purely a private paper motion in accordance with Section 25, in accordance with SU 25 of the standing orders, as emphasized by Mr. Speaker himself. Members of this honorable House have the full responsibility to bring out private member motions. And what is in front of us is not elections. Let me make it very clear. Speaking to this other paper, what is in front of us is investigation for transparency of allegedly financial misappropriation. That is what is in front of us. The issues of elections is not tenable. It's not in front of us. So I can state my prediction for what they have done in terms of investigating this civil society organization, as he alluded to, the mover of the motion, section 93, subsection 4, Mr. Speaker. That is in line or in tandem with what we have on the other paper. motion for the private member motion, item number 4. It under to that provision, section 93(4), and this one, paragraph 4 of motion 5, ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest. That is also stated in section 93, subsection 4 of the Constitution. With due regard to transparency, which I said what is in front of us is investigating allegedly, as he also stated in Komon-Tok, about financial misappropriation or management given to a particular society for monitoring elections for over 400 civil society or 400 society organizations. And accountability is also mentioned. That is what they are asking for. And the integrity. He also said the second of the motion was saying allegedly the new itself wanted to put this country into chaos by challenging the established institution for the conduct of elections. That we are supposed to go for second round of elections. So they are talking about, he said, integrity of democratic governance. So they are saying financial integrity in whom that has to do with governance integrity, which is also alluded to by talking about elections pronouncement. But as I said, it is not investigating specific elections for 2023. In motion 3 of the said proposal on a private member motion, on 2, Mr. Speaker, he has also given us a period. So he's not only talking about 2023 elections. Let me read to you the motion again. It said, examine and scrutinize the financial flows, sources of funding, expenditures, and accountability mechanisms of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. So they have not really stated. I said I can talk about what is in front of me, not what they have said. That specifically, he is questioning, based on section 93 of the Constitution, subsection 4, matters of public interest. And Mr. Speaker, the mover of the motion has read a press release from very credible institution we have in this country that has to do with security matters, the Office of National Security. So this particular issue is of public interest. We should not just throw it under the carpet. And that is why I said, as you alluded to, that it's a private member motion. I was very happy when you mentioned that correction must be done. It is not a government motion. It is not. As members of parliament, they have right to their opinion and their representation. So I just want to draw the attention of colleagues in this house, Mr. Speaker. We are not investigating specific period like 2023. A range of period given to us from 2016 to date. So it's about talking about financial management of this particular fund. They are talking about expenditure. They are talking about how it was disbursed. They are talking about governance. So integrity encompasses of all how they are managed the funds that has to do with elections. So it is about funding. And Mr. Speaker, before I take my seat, as Honorable Member said, because of public matters, and he has said we have to look at it. I believe your judgment, Mr. Speaker. You will not just set committee, you have to take other parameters into consideration before setting the committees. But prior to this moment, section SO 25(2) was adhered to by my colleagues on the other side. So no counter motion was given. I will urge the clerk's office, before talking with Mr. Speaker and setting the committee, we did not have any counter motion by procedural matters. But what we are showing is an understanding with our colleague on the other side that this committee can be set prior to things that we can discuss with Mr. Speaker that matters to his concern. And I believe we can look into that. But procedurally, we are on the same page in terms of parliamentary processes. Mr. Speaker, and let me hasten to say, as we are scrutinizing, Mr. Clark, you are not here. A civil society organization said we are among the list of the most corrupt colleagues. I need your attention. of the most corrupt institutions in this country. That's how we were accused. We talk about using a barometer. We did not go after them, but what we did is that we tried to set the record straight, and we asked for further investigations. And where necessary, financial processes must be observed. We did not throw their reports under the carpet. We did make use of their reports to change the financial management system of this institution. Today, I can tell you, at any time, even by impromptu, you can audit this institution and you can get all the necessary documents that you think you want. Nobody is above the law. If my colleagues, in their own wisdom, in their own democratic right, in the process of parliamentary works, they have said they need an investigation, Mr. Speaker. I think they have followed the due process. And the only thing I'm pleading with you, together with Mr. Bangura, the Honorable Bangura, is that you look into other issues before sending up the committee. And this House, as usual, we tend to take into consideration so many other factors come into play. But nobody can escape the management system that has to do, financial management systems that has to do with public funds, as clearly stated in the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I think this is what I have to make clarifications on. It's not about elections. It's about financial management. I respect this. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mustafa Sello. We have listened to the various contributions. Let me hear your responses.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, having carefully listened to my colleagues, as a member, a former member of the civil society organization, who have worked in that space for over 8 to 9 years before coming here. This is not new. We have been summoned here before by the appropriate parliamentary committee when the Honorable Ibrahim Kabo was the chairman in the 4th Parliament to look into our activities and financial flows. Ibrahim Kabo, yeah, it was a chairman by the Dr. Ibrahim Kabo was the chairman. Committee 1. We appeared before the committee and we are thoroughly scrutinized. Our budget, our everything was scrutinized in terms of administration and our fundings were properly scrutinized. So this is not new. One of the reasons why I took my time to come up with this motion is because some other civil society organizations wrote a letter addressing to Mr. Speaker, and they also contacted me complaining, raising issues about the just completed election and some financial misappropriation. So this is one of the reasons why, because it's of public interest. These are Sierra Leoneans. If they are raising concerns about new operation and they are a member of that organization, I think it's our time we.
Okay, let me hear this. What are you saying?
I am saying I am in copy of a letter from National Consortium on Public Accountability, a civil society consortium, that highlighted series of issues. I will read, Mr. Speaker, with your leave.
Against new?
Yes, sir, I will read with your leave, sir.
Yeah. Please read that.
Subject: formal complaint and urgent appeal for parliamentary investigation into the grave irregularities, lack of transparency, and the unexplained utilization of donor funds by National Election Watch. New. We write to you with the highest sense of humility, responsibility, and urgency on behalf of the National Consortium on Public Accountability, NCPA. The NCPA is a recognized coalition of over 50 civil society organizations operating across Sierra Leone, united in our commitment to promoting corporate governance, social cohesion, and most critically, public accountability. We bring to your attention esteemed office and through it to sovereign parliament of Sierra Leone a matter of grave national concern regarding the conduct and management of the ongoing lower level elections, chiefdom to district, conducted by National Elections Watch. This situation represents a profound breach of democratic principles, fraudulent responsibility, and the public trust. As you may be aware, Parliament is the custodian of the nation's law and the oversight of public and donor-funded institutions. In lieu of this, we therefore approach this honorable House to invoke its oversight mandate in light of the pending crisis surrounding the new electoral process, which is described as fictitious, untraditional, unaccountable, and lack of transparency. Subsequently, this complaint is not an isolated action. Prior to this communication, the NCPA, as a lead consortium of aggrieved CSO, formally addressed joint letter of complaint to our key international partners, European Union Delegation to Sierra Leone, and the International Institute of Democracy for Electoral Assistance, IDEA. It is explicit that these institutions are the primary financial and technical backers of the current new process. We have urged them to discontinue their support pending an independent review. However, given the severity of the allegations and their implications for our democracy, we deem it national duty to bring the full weight of this matter before Parliament for a due diligence and accountability and transparency. What was intended to be a model of transparency, a transparent civil society self-governance has instead descended and reduced itself into a process characterized by systematic exclusion and a disturbing lack of accountability. Our concerns are in two folds. One, lack of inclusivity and transparency. Continue a breach of democratic trust since the commencement of the electoral process on 16th March 2026. The NCPA has received and cascaded a complaint from members across the organization and other reputable CSO across the country. The process has been marked by systematic exclusion. Key and reputable community-based organizations, including many of our members, have been deliberately kept in the dark. They have been denied adequate information on participation, effectively locking them out of process that claims they represent the entire civil service community. The conduct of these elections stand in stark contrast to new public assistance of openness and elections that, by its design, exclude key stakeholders cannot legitimately claim to represent the will of the civil society sector. It is our firm position that this election lack the most basic democratic tenet of inclusivity and transparency. Unexplained and accountable donor funds, financial inappropriacy. This is a critical new dimension to our complaint. We have serious and well-founded concern regarding the financial management of these projects. Significant funds received from donors, notably the EU and international and the IDEA, have been utilized in a manner that lacks basic accountability. We request Parliament to investigate unaccounted expenditure. The total project cost appears inconsistent with the limited scope and exclusive nature of the activity being carried out. Lack of public disclosure. There has been no transparent reporting on the allocation of funds, procurement process, or disbursement to stakeholders, a mandatory requirement for any organization receiving public funds or donor funds for the public mandates. Potential mismanagement. This surrounding the elections process mirrors a similar capacity in the management of funds, raising serious questions about possible misrepresentation or wastage of resources that were intended to strengthen the corporate governance structure of civil society, not to divide us. Given the lucid and justifiable position that this process is flawed, and the strong indication that this is being conducted with financial and technical support from international partners, the National Consortium on Public Accountability respectfully but urgently calls upon the Parliament of Sierra Leone to 1. Invoke your oversight mandates. Convene an immediate bipartisan and hard-up committee to conduct a full, independent, and impartial investigation into the conduct of the ongoing new election, with a specific mandate to scrutinize the allegation and systematically exclusion that the lacking of transparency and management of donor funds. 2. Issue of monitoring. Formally call for an immediate monitoring on the ongoing new electoral process pending the outcome of the parliamentary investigation in order to prevent the legitimacy of the inherently flawed outcome. Demand financial accountability. Request the financial statement of new accountant, the Anti-Corruption Commission, to conduct a forensic audit of all donor funds received and expended by new for this electoral process. Engage development partners. As a representative body of the people, engage with the European Union, international IDA, and other relevant stakeholders to ensure that future support for civil society initiative in Sierra Leone is contingent upon adherence to the principles of inclusivity, transparency, and accountability. Honorable Speaker, the credibility of election observation in Sierra Leone, the integrity of civil society governance, and the stewardship of public and donor funds are all at stake. We are of the firm position that you and the distinguished members of Parliament will give this matter the utmost attention in demand, taking into consideration the call for accountability and fairness. We are prepared to make ourselves available to the relevant committee to provide any further documentations and evidence to support this complaint. We await your esteemed intervention. Yours faithfully, Ahmed M. Yila, Executive Secretary, CSO, National Consortium on Public Accountability, Corporate Parliamentary Oversight Committee, the Chairman Public Accounts Committee, Government and Statutory Bodies, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Commissioner Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, the Chairman Public Political Party Registration Commission, PPRC, the Chairman Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone, the Chief Electoral Commission, Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, international partners and diplomatic missions. The country representative, European Union delegation to Sierra Leone, the country representative, International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, International IDA, the World Bank Country Office, Sierra Leone, the International Monetary Fund, IMF Resident Representative, the African Union Liaison Office, Sierra Leone, the Economic Community of West Africa State ECOWAS Mission in Sierra Leone, Commonwealth Office, Sierra Leone, British High Commissioner, Sierra Leone, United States Embassy, Freetown, Civil Society Media. The Sierra Leone Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, LANGO, Native Consortium and Research Center, the leader of Opposition Parliament of Sierra Leone, Civil Society Umbrella Bodies in Sierra Leone, West Africa Civil Society Forum, Transparency International Sierra Leone, CSO Consortium on Service Delivery, Accountability Now, Child Welfare Society, Civil Rights Coalition, Right to Life Advocacy Network, Citizens Awareness Forum, Initiative for Local Governance, Health Network and of Sierra Leone, Justice Communication Network. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a letter from a consortium of CSO complaining about the irregularities and mismanagement of funds allegedly by these over 50 civil society organizations. This letter is here. I will share to members in this room. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, like the leader just said, we are not talking about anything. The motion has got anything to do with election, but purely of public interest as stated clearly in this particular letter by this consortium of civil society organizations. And these are Sierra Leoneans, so their concerns must be looked into, and their interest must be seen as Sierra Leoneans as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, with all due respect to my colleague. Mr. Speaker, I want to refer you to section 118 subsection 7 of the ground norm of this country. I think we should not have any problem with the private member motion from our colleague. As section 105 of this constitution gave this parliament the mandate to make law, Mr. Speaker. Section 118, subsection 7, made it very clear, Mr. Speaker. The drafters were very crafty. Mr. Speaker, let me read with your leave. Mr. Speaker, 118, subsection 7 says, Parliament shall be notified by the appropriate minister or authority of all gifts, donation, grants, and pledges made to the state of Sierra Leone. Whether it's an election or not, Mr. Speaker, when monies has been given to institutions of this country, I think this House should be notified, Mr. Speaker. So if members of parliament are taking upon themselves as representatives of their people to ask parliament to vote in their favor so that we can investigate monies that has been given to this country for development in every manner, Mr. Speaker, I think they have that right, and it's not something we can argue for in this way. I just want to say we will support this private member motion, and I think, Mr. Speaker, you have all the right to support this committee so that we can do our work, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Selu, can you hold on? Honorable Selu, can you conclude now?
yes, I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker. So the emphasis here is about accountability and transparency, and in that vein, we'll be helping you because in a press release here dated March 1st, 2026, they clearly made their position very clear that any information on social media or made by any parliamentarian here is misleading, untrue, and baseless. So what we are doing is only trying to protect them so that when they come to this committee, the committee will now investigate and the report findings from that particular engagement will be published so that the name of NIM will be cleared and their credibility will remain intact as it is. So for me, I should be applauded, or myself and my colleagues should be applauded for even helping them to make the public understand that NIM is a credible institution when it comes to financial accountability and transparency. So I think, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the role I'm playing here is a role of a former civil society member who has done in that space to come and engage our colleagues, civil society organizations, to scrutinize their income, financial irregularities or financial management, and the accountability mechanism if they have. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is not about anything that has to do with election or elections. It's just to come and look at their books. Come and look at their books because they are receiving this money on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So they have 497 members based on their press release, and 442 participated, representing 88.9% of voter turnout. And in that statement, they said the list of membership was displayed, verified, concerned areas were addressed, and they have a legitimate document across the country from chiefdom focal presses to district to regional to national. These are some of the issues that I want to help this new leadership and entire membership to come to Parliament to clear, so that they will know that civil society, when we say we are doing something, we do it diligently and in a proper manner. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Selu. you have concluded the whole thing. Okay. So just move your motion.
Yes, sorry. You see, I nearly
Mama,
we
wait
are
till you want to
looking at
talk.
it
Father,
so bad.
copiol. Madi copiol.
So Speaker,
So, Speaker, before you move to motion, I again, for the edification of the public and for neatness of parliamentary proceedings, we are very clear that it was not the MPs who came up personally on bringing a private member motion. Mr. Speaker, it was a letter written to members of parliament for us to investigate. I did not go into the intricacies of 25(2). I said, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues follow the procedures in Parliament adhering to Section 25(2) of the Standing Orders, whom with 93(4) of the Constitution. So I want to allay the fears of my colleague on the other side, that these colleagues follow the due process. In fact, in the release by New, the accused members of Parliament that the public should not listen to them for any form of misinformation. That is why he has read. As I said, we are not fighting with anybody outside, because we are accused of not being transparent and accountable to the people of this country by a civil society organization, Mr. Speaker. By your predecessor, we held a press conference in Committee 1 trying to clear our names. What we did thereafter, we set up an investigating committee into the financial management of Parliament. And today we are very proud. You can confront the clerk at any time if you want to investigate Parliament in terms of finances. That's why don't worry about when you allege on financial management about Parliament. We are very open about it. But let me tell you what happens. Just give me a few minutes. They have even asked for our own phone numbers. I don't know what they want to do with it. These are personal information. And that's why we call a meeting for NGOs, so that they can come and understand the responsibilities of MPs and how we function here.
Maybe members, you are not taking part in the social media kind of group, so they want to be sending insults to you directly.
I'm just seeing how we have been magnanimous. We are not overbloating ourselves in excess form in using our power, Mr. Speaker. What we are doing, when you accuse members of Parliament or Parliament itself, we try very hard to make sure that we follow due process of the law. So, point of clarification, the members of Parliament from the SLPP side, they have right, like any other member, they have right to give a private member motion and follow the process of the law. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, they did not come up personally to draft this motion or establish a motion, and where we have today. They got a letter from a consortium, not even formed a civil society organization, but a consortium of civil society organization. They said they are ready to come and testify. So in the best interest of NEW and for the interest of the general public in line with Section 93(4) of the Constitution, not even the standing orders, for us to set up this committee as early as possible. But as I said earlier, you can still bend backwards to listen to the plea made by our colleague on the other side. But we cannot deprive the public of these grave allegations coming from the civil society organization themselves, and also the counter press release from Office of National Security, disassociating themselves for any form of elections, and also new attacking Parliament that which they should not listen to us in their press release. For us, we cannot move to them by our own personal belief or what we think by assumption. We can going to use the full process of the law to make sure that the public get the truth of the matter. I rest my case and thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable. This is on procedural, but I'm just allowing.
I know.
Yes,
this is of public interest. That's why you're.
Yes, Honorable
Speaker. We have heard from the opposition and the second opposition. You can sense the contradiction in this way. He is talking about accountability and probity, while the seconder is talking about election. Mr. Speaker, I know from the leader of government business,
Mr. Speaker.
that we all have the right.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Hold on. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, for the records, we all agree that this is not elections issue, and therefore we are all discussing what we are discussing here is accountability and transparency.
I caution you.
And as per the motion, there is nothing about elections here.
Yes.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
member, please be guided.
Mr. Speaker, this has already been done this morning. We all had you here talking about elections. But anyway,
Mr. Speaker, again, I was building.
All right, you are building the foundation for a 6-story building. You understand?
Let me tell you, there is no way you are going to get away with this. Please, be mindful of.
For the interest of the country, Mr. Leader,
And
I have you. Honorable, please.
Mr. Speaker,
Please.
let me land.
Go ahead.
Yes, proceed, Honorable Bangura.
The leader has already said that we all have our own rights to move a private member motion this way. But to be specific on this new issue, already the mover of the motion has come out with a letter written to him or to this parliament from a consortium of civil society organizations, and many more. I will tell you, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt over your office in terms of making decisions elsewhere.
Yes.
I have no doubt.
Yes, sir.
And this particular new issue
Thank you.
is of public interest.
Thank you.
And I hold my argument here this morning. I hold it because I want to advance the public interest.
Thank you.
So I trusted your office
Yes.
to make a judgment on this issue.
Yes, all right.
Please.
Thank you very much. Honorable, please move your motion again.
Out of magnanimity, all of this is happening. You should have moved the counter motion. Anyway. Be it. You see, because of security, but that's a procedural, sir. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that pursuant to subsection 4 of section 93 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, which empowers Parliament to appoint committee to investigate or inquire into matters of public interest, and in accordance with the standing orders 25-2 governing for debate. I rise to move that the Honorable House do resolve to institute a parliamentary inquiry into the operations of the National Election Watch, NIM, being a consortium of civil society organizations operating within the Republic of Sierra Leone. 2, to examine and scrutinize the financial flows, sources of funding, expenditures, and accountability mechanisms of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. Mandate the appropriate committee of Parliament to conduct a thorough investigation and the reports on its findings and recommendations to this House within a specified time frame. Ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest with due regard to transparency, accountability, and the integrity of democratic governance. I so move.
Honorable members, the question is that pursuant to subsection 4 of section 93 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, which empowers Parliament to appoint committees to investigate or inquire into matters of public interest, and in accordance with standing orders 25-2 governing motions for debate. 1. Institute a parliamentary inquiry into the operations of the National Election Watch, NIM, being a consortium of civil society organizations operating within the Republic of Sierra Leone. 2. Examine and scrutinize the financial flows, sources of funding, expenditures, and accountability mechanisms of the said organization covering the period January 2016 to date. Mandate the appropriate committee of Parliament to conduct a thorough investigation and report its findings and recommendations to this House within a specified time frame. And 4, ensure that such investigation is carried out in the public interest with due regard to transparency, accountability, and integrity of democratic governance. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Now, okay,
the private member's motion moved by Honorable Mustafa Musa Selu and seconded by Honorable Ambrose Madalebi has been carried.
Now, honorable members, let me say this for your edification. As far as parliamentary democracy is concerned, I have no authority to prevent a private member from presenting his or her motion to this House. I have no authority to stop any private member from proposing something to this House. But as long as the motion has been moved, then it behoves me. It now comes within my authority to establish the committee or not. In the circumstances, honorable members, I wish to inform you that as of today, this motion is very sensitive. Let me say that with all authority, that this motion is sensitive. So I want to buy into the submission made by Honorable Bangura for the establishment of the committee to be put on hold. I am not going to establish any committee for now until further notice. I will not establish any committee for now until further notice due to the sensitivity of the matter before us this morning. So I urge members of parliament to please hold your breath and allow good judgment. So I'll put a hold to the establishment of any committee for now until further notice. Thank you very much, Honorable Selu, for your motion. Thank you, honorable members, for taking part for brilliant debate, and thank you for everything. We proceed.
B. The Merchant Shipping Act 2025, Committee Stage. The Minister of Transport and Aviation. Report on the Merchant Shipping Act, Committee Stage. Please, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Proceed, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Starting from page 81. Clause 332. Notice to be given for alteration affecting positions of
Line, sorry, sir. Line what?
Starting from.
Is it 81 or clause 800?
No, well, page 81 of the report, starting from clause 332 and line 727.
Okay. All right.
Clause 332 of the report, and this line 727.
Proceed.
All right.
whilst I try to read from this mic, please help me with the connection of this mic here. Clause 332, notice to be given for alterations affecting positions of load line. Subclause 2 be amended to read, an owner or master of a ship who fails to give notice as required under subsection 1 commits an offence and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than 2,000 or its equivalent in livings. Clause 332, notice to be given for alterations affecting position of load line. Subclause 4b be amended by replacing the word thinks.
Hold on. Honorable members, the mics are malfunctioning. Whatever thing you are saying right now, don't forget we are live and people, the public, members of the public are hearing whatever you are saying, even when the mics are off. So please be careful. Don't tell the public your secret.
So hold your peace.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Clause 332, notice to be given for alterations affecting positions of load line. So clause 4b be amended by replacing the word thinks with the word deems on the third line to now read. Require the owner to have the ship surveyed again to such an extent as the executive director of the state.
Sorry, sir. We are having a problem with the hard copy and the soft copy numbering. Hard copy, you have clause 332 for line 727, and line 728 you have clause 332 again, and line 729 you have clause 332, line 730 you have clause 334, and 731 clause 333. The number is Momo Jumbo.
Okay, later let me help clear the mumbo jumbo.
Yes.
In 727, the clause 332 we're talking about is dealing with subclause 2. The 728, the clause 332 we're dealing with is dealing with subclause 4b. The subclauses are different, but we're talking about the same many clause.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In the first, perhaps is the way you can't convince me like because you have mentioned subclause 6b. So I mentioned in the clause above 332 b of that coming to read. But as you are going with the reading, one can get confused in terms of giving 334 and you come back to give me clause 333. I don't subscribe to it.
Okay.
So I beg to differ. You are giving an insight of what is coming in the sub clauses. You did not give us an insight. You are expecting me to take 334 and come back to 333. That's what you are telling me. Exactly. That's why I say it's Momo Jumbo. You cannot take me back and forth like that. No. Direct us that clause 332 is having parts. I have seen it. Look at that before me. Look at them. No, you don't understand. You have 332, and be renumbered to be 333. So now 332 is having 332, not giving instances for the one below. So what I'm saying, for the above first 332, you are giving us that plus 334, you have 4B, 4B, and you have the other one, in fact, is not giving. I'm just trying so that we can follow you.
Let me go back again to clause 80. That's where we said clause 333, notice to be given for alterations affecting positions of road, be renumbered to become clause 332. Then we proceeded now to clause 332 and outlined all the subclauses.
All right, go ahead.
Is that clear now, leader? Leader?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, proceed.
Clause 332, notice to be given for alterations affecting positions of load line. Subclause 6 be amended to read, an owner or master of a ship who fails without reasonable cause to comply with the requirements under subsection 5 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in livings. Clause 334, submersion of load line of foreign ship be renumbered to become clause 333. Clause 333, submersion of load line of foreign ship be approved. Clause 335, deck cargo regulations be renumbered to become clause 334. Clause 334, deck cargo regulations, subclause 1 be amended to read: the minister, on the advice of the administration, may by statutory instruments make regulations in this section referred to as the deck cargo regulations, prescribing requirements to be complied with where cargo is carried in an uncovered space on the deck of a ship to which this part applies. Clause 334, deck cargo regulations, subclause 4 be amended to read: commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in the year. Clause 336, posting up of load line certificate and entry of load line details in ship's logbook, being numbered to become clause 335. Clause 335, posting up of load line certificate and entry of load line details in ship's logbook, subclause 3 be amended to read: the master or owner of a ship, of a Sierra Leonean ship, who fails to comply with the provisions of this section commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in euros. Clause 337, contravention of load line regulations and detention of ship being numbered to become clause 336. Clause 336, contravention of load line regulations and detention of ship be approved. Part 19, carriage of bulk.
Hold on, Honorable Maricon. Hold on, Honorable Maricon. Pursuant to Order 3 of the Standing Orders. I make the following adjustments in the seating accommodation of MPs. Honorable Joseph Ahmed Kanu move over to the seat earlier occupied by the late Honorable Ella Goma. Honorable Festus Lansana move over to the seat now occupied by Honorable Princess Darami. Honorable Princess Darami move over to the seat occupied by Honorable Joseph Ahmed Kanu, effective tomorrow. Is that clear? Are all the honorable members here? Honorable Joseph Ahmed Kanu move over to the seat earlier occupied by Honorable Ella Goba. Honorable Joseph Ahmed Kanu move over to the seat earlier occupied by the late Honorable Ella Goba. Honorable Festus Lansana move over to the seat now occupied by Honorable Princess Darami. And Honorable Princess Darami will move over to the seat occupied by Honorable Joseph Ahmed Kanu. Proceed, effective tomorrow. Proceed, Honorable Maricon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Part 19, carriage of bulk cargos. Clause 338, bulk cargo regulations be numbered to become clause 337. Clause 337, bulk cargo regulations be amended to read: the minister, on the advice of the administration, may by statutory instruments make regulations relating to the safe carriage and storage of. Clause 339, precautions regarding grain cargoes being numbered to become clause 338. Clause 338, precautions regarding grain cargoes be approved. Clause 340, offences be renumbered to become clause 339. Clause 339, offences be amended to read: a person who contravenes this part commits an offence and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $3,000 or its equivalent. Part 20, dangerous goods. Clause 341, regulations as to dangerous goods be remembered to become clause 340. Clause 340, regulations as to dangerous goods, sub-clause 1, be amended to read. The minister, on the advice of the administration, may by statutory instrument make regulations as to establish which goods, articles, or materials carried on a ship are dangerous goods in accordance with Chapter 7 of the International Convention for Safety of Life at Sea, 1974, relating to carriage of dangerous goods and to amendments thereto or replacements thereof, and such regulations shall have regard to the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, IMDG Code, published by the International Maritime Organization as amended from time to time. Clause 340, regulations as to dangerous goods, sub-clause 2, be amended to read without restricting the generality of subsection 1. The minister, on the advice of the administration, may by regulations prescribe the Clause 342, carriage and markings of dangerous goods be renumbered to become Clause 341. Clause 341, carriage and markings of dangerous goods be approved. Clause 343, offences be renumbered to become Clause 342. Clause 342, offences, sub-clause 1 be amended to read. A person who contravenes this part is guilty of an offence and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $3,000 or its equivalent in millions. Clause 344, rejection and disposal of dangerous goods by ship be renumbered to become Clause 343. Clause 343, rejection and disposal of dangerous goods by ship be approved. Clause 345, forfeiture of dangerous goods be renumbered to become Clause 344. Clause 344, forfeiture of dangerous goods be approved. Part 21, unsafe ships. Clause 346, interpretation be renumbered to become Clause 345. Clause 345, interpretation be amended by replacing the word undermining with the phrase undermining at the beginning of the fourth line to now read. Unsafe ship means a ship that is by reason of the defective condition of its hull, equipment or machinery, or by reason of undermining, overloading, or improper loading, and any other matter relevant to the safety of the ship, unfit to proceed to sea without danger to human life and environment, having regard to the nature of the services for which it is intended. Clause 347, sending unsafe ship to sea, an offense, be renumbered to become Clause 346. Clause 346, sending an unsafe ship to sea, an offense, so Clause 4 be amended to read. The person who contravenes this section commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $3,000 or its equivalent in lieu, or to a term not less than 2 years or to both such fine and imprisonment. Clause 348, owner's obligation to crew regarding unsafe ship be renumbered to become Clause 347. Clause 347, owner's obligation to crew regarding unsafe ship be approved. Clause 349, detention of unsafe ship be renumbered to become Clause 348. Clause 348, detention of unsafe ship be approved. Clause 350, method of detention of unsafe ship be renumbered to become Clause 349. Clause 349, method of detention of unsafe ship, sub-clause 1, be amended by replacing the word use ship with the word ship on the third line to now read. Where the executive director has reason to believe a complaint or representation that a ship in a port in Sierra Leone is an unsafe ship, he shall order the ship to be provisionally detained for the purpose of being surveyed. Clause 349, method of detention of unsafe ship, sub-clause 3b, be amended by replacing the word detrained with the word detained on the second line to now read. Where in his opinion the ship is unsafe, order it to be finally detained either absolutely or until compliance with such conditions with respect to the execution of repairs and with repairs or alterations, or the unloading or reloading of cargo, or the manning of the ship as he thinks necessary for the protection of human life and may vary or add to any such order. Clause 351, supplementary provisions relating to detention and compensation being numbered to become clause 350. Clause 350, supplementary provisions relating to detention and compensation be approved. Clause 352, power of surveyor regarding detention being numbered to become clause 351. Clause 351, power of surveyor regarding detention be approved. Clause 353, power to require complaint and to give security of course being numbered to become clause 352. Clause 352, power to require complaint and to give security of course, subclause 1, be amended by separating the words the case to be the case on the fourth line to now read. Where a complaint is made to the executive director or a surveyor that the ship is unsafe, the complainant may be required to give security to the satisfaction of the executive director or surveyor as the case may be. Clause 354, survey of ship alleged by seafarer to be unsafe be remembered to become clause 353. Clause 353, survey of ship alleged by seafarer to be unsafe, subclause 1, be amended by replacing the word proceedings with the word proceeding on the first line and separating the word chief engineer to be chief engineer on the third line to now read. In the proceeding against the seafarer of a ship for an offense of desertion or absence without leave, it is alleged by 1/4, including the chief officer and chief engineer, or if their number exceeds 20, by not less than 5 of the seafarers belonging to the ship that be. Clause 353, survey of ship alleged by seafarer to be unsafe, subclause 1b, Roman figure 4, be amended by deleting the number 9 on the second line to now read. Shall, if satisfied that the allegation is not groundless before adjudication, cause the ship to be surveyed. Clause 355, appointment of surveyor be renumbered to become clause 354. Clause 354, appointment of surveyor, subclause 1b, be amended by replacing the word things with the word deems on the 10th line to now read. Where a surveyor cannot be obtained without unreasonable expense or delay, or is not in the opinion of the court competent to deal with special circumstances of the case, then an impartial surveyor appointed by the court and having no interest in the ship, her freight or cargo, to survey the ship which is the subject of allegation under section 353 and to answer any questions concerning the ship as the court deems fit to ask. Clause 354, appointment of surveyor, subclause 4 be amended by deleting the word have after the word shall and before the word for on the second line to now read. A person carrying out a survey of a ship under this section shall for the purposes therefore have all the powers of a surveyor. Clause 356, cost of survey be renumbered to become clause 355. Clause 355, cost of survey be approved. Part 22, rec. Clause 357, interpretation be renumbered to become clause 356. Clause 356, interpretation. The definition of the phrase related interest, subparagraph C, be amended by replacing the word conversation with the word conservation at the beginning of the third line to now read. Health of the coastal population and the well-being of the area concerned, including conservation of marine living resources and of wildlife. And clause 358, appointment of receiver be renumbered to become clause 357. Clause 357, appointment of receiver, marginal note be amended to read receiver of recs. Clause 357, receiver of recs be amended to read the executive director shall be the receiver of recs. Clause 359, detention by receiver be renumbered to become clause 358. Clause 358, detention by receiver, marginal notes be amended to read delegation by receiver. Clause 358, delegation by receiver be approved. Clause 360, indemnity of receiver be renumbered to become clause 359. Clause 359, indemnity of receiver be approved. Clause 361, administrative measures for removal of wreck posing as be renumbered to become clause 360. Clause 360, administrative measures for removal of wreck posed in hazard. Subclause 2 be amended by separating the words with subsection to be with subsection on the second line to now read. A measure taken by the administration in accordance with subsection 1 shall. Clause 362.
Honorable Member. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, well, I therefore move that SO5 to be suspended for the business of the House to continue.
Any seconder?
I so second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Proceed.
Clause 362, vessel wrecked, stranded, or distressed in Sierra Leonean or tidal waters, being numbered to become clause 361. Clause 361, vessel wrecked, stranded, or distressed in Sierra Leonean or tidal waters, subclause 1, be amended by deleting the word in on the third line to now read. Where a vessel is wrecked, stranded, or in distress in Sierra Leonean waters, or on the shores of Sierra Leone, or in tidal waters, the receiver, upon being made acquainted with the circumstances, shall. Clause 361, vessel wrecked, stranded, or distressed, and that let there be a comma between wrecked and stranded. Thank you. Vessel wrecked, stranded, or distressed in Sierra Leonean or tidal waters, subclause 2b. Subclause 2 be amended to read: the person who, without reasonable excuse, willfully disobeys the direction of a receiver commits an offense and is liable to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in leons. Clause 363, wreck in convention area be renumbered to become clause 362. Clause 362, wreck in convention area be approved. Clause 364, preservation of shipwrecked persons, vessel and cargo be renumbered to become clause 363. Clause 363, preservation of shipwrecked persons, vessel and cargo, subclause 3 be amended to read: a person who refuses, without a reasonable excuse, to comply with the requisition or command under subsection 1, commits an offense and is liable to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in leons. Clause 365, measures not applicable to pollution in high seas be renumbered to become clause 364. Clause 364, measures not applicable to pollution in high seas, subclause 1, be amended by replacing the word act with the word part on the first line to now read: this part shall not apply to measures taken by the minister under a marine law relating to the intervention on the high seas in pollution in cases of oil pollution by substances other than oil. Clause 364, measures not applicable to pollution in high seas, subclause 2, be amended by replacing the word act with the word part on the first line to now read: this part shall not apply to a Sierra Leonean warship or any other ship owned or operated by the government of Sierra Leone and used for the time being only on government non-commercial service, unless the administration decides otherwise. Clause 364, measures not applicable to pollution in high seas, subclause 3 be amended by replacing the word act with the word part on the second line to now read: where the administration, through the government of Sierra Leone, decides to apply this part to Sierra Leonean warships or other ships described in subsection 2, it shall notify the Secretary General thereof, specifying the terms and conditions of such application. Clause 364, measures not applicable to pollution in high seas, subclause 4 be amended by replacing the word act with the word part on the second line to now read: where the administration has made a notification under subsection 3, the following provisions of this part shall not apply in Sierra Leone waters. Clause 366, report on maritime casualty resulting in wreck be renumbered to become clause 365. Clause 365, report on maritime casualty resulting in wreck be approved. Clause 367, determining hazards posed by wreck be renumbered to become clause 366. Clause 366, determining hazards posed by wreck, subparagraph B, be amended by deleting the word the after the word of and before the word water, and inserting the word the after the word in and before the word area to now read depth of water in the area. Clause 366, determining hazards posed by rec, subparagraph D, be amended by inserting the word the after the word by and before the word organization on the third line to now read. Particularly sensitive sea areas identified and as appropriate designated in accordance with guidelines adopted by the organization. Clause 368, duties or measures of persons assisting wrecked, distressed, or strained vessel be renumbered to become clause 367. Clause 367, duties or measures of persons assisting wrecked, distressed, or strained vessel. Cross-check whether the strained vessel here, whether it's strained or stranded whilst it proceeds. Clause 367, duties or measures of persons assisting wreck, distressed, or strained vessels. I strongly believe should be stranded vessels because we've had previous provisions before. Stranded vessels, subclause 1, be amended by separating the words in distress to be in distress at the beginning of the second line to now read. A person may where a vessel is wrecked, stranded, or in distress for the purpose of rendering assistance to the vessel, its cargo or apparel, or of saving the life of a person. Clause 367, duties or measures of persons assisting wrecked, distressed, or stranded vessel. Subclause 3, fine provision be amended to read, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in leons. Clause 369, apprehension of persons plundering, creating disorder, obstructing the preservation of a ship or shipwrecked persons, be renumbered to become clause 368. Clause 368, apprehension of persons plundering, creating disorder, obstructing the preservation of a ship or shipwrecked persons, subclause 2, be amended by separating the words for the to be for the on second line to now read. A receiver may use such force as reasonably necessary for the suppression of plundering, disorder, or obstruction under subsection 1 and may order other person or persons to assist in doing so. Clause 370, appointment of person to give account on oath on board a distress ship be renumbered to become clause 369. Clause 369, appointment of person to give account on oath on board a distress ship. Subclause 3 be amended by replacing the word thinks with the word deems on the first line and replacing the word in with the word indicating on the third line and also replacing the word as with the word was on the third line to now read. The executive director shall, if it deems fit, cause a copy of the record to be placed in a conspicuous place in the office of the administration indicating the area in which the ship was in distress. Clause 369, appointment of person to give account on oath on board the distress ship, subclause 4, be amended by inserting the phrase of this section. Inserting the phrase of this section after the word purposes and before the word have on the second line to now read. The person holding an examination under subsection 1 shall, for the purposes of this section, have all the powers of survey. Clause 371, interfering with wrecked vessel, etc., be renumbered to become clause 370. Clause 370, interfering with the wrecked vessel, etc., subclause 2 be amended to read, the person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in leons. Clause 370, interfering with wrecked vessel, etc., subclause 3C be amended to read, commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not less than $3,000 its equivalent in leons or to a term of imprisonment not less than 2 years or to both such fine and imprisonment. Clause 372, notice of wreck to be given to receiver, be renumbered to become clause 371. Clause 371, notice of wreck to be given to receiver, subclause 2 be amended to read, the person who fails or refuses without reasonable cause, proof of which is on him to give notice required under subsection 1, commits an offense and is liable to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in leons. Clause 373, receiver may take possession of wreck be renumbered to become clause 372. Clause 372, receiver may take possession of rec. Subclause 2 be amended to read: a person who fails or refuses without reasonable cause, proof of which is obtained, to comply with the notice under subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable to a fine not less than $2,000 or its equivalent in Leon. Clause 374, notice of rec to be given by receiver be renumbered to become clause 373. Clause 373, notice of rec to be given by receiver be approved. Clause 375, delivery of rec to owner be renumbered to become clause 374. Clause 374, delivery of rec to owner be approved. Clause 376, immediate sale of rec be renumbered to become clause 375. Clause 375, immediate sale of rec be approved. Clause 377, right to unclaimed rec be renumbered to become clause 376. Clause 376, right to unclaimed rec be approved. Clause 378, disposal of unclaimed rec be renumbered to become clause 377. Clause 377, disposal of unclaimed rec be approved. Clause 379, delivery of unclaimed rec by receiver not to prejudice title be renumbered to become clause 378. Clause 378, delivery of unclaimed rec by receiver not to prejudice title be approved. Clause 380, breaking up and removal of rec be renumbered to become clause 379. Clause 379, breaking up and removal of rec, subclause 5 be amended by deleting the word "of" on the third line to now read: the administration may, before such removal commences, lay down conditions for such removal only to the extent necessary to ensure that the removal proceeds in a manner consistent with considerations of safety and the protection of the marine environment.
Honorable Chair, may I observe, sir?
Yes, proceed.
Please, my mic is not functioning.
The mobile mic. The mobile mic.
With the leave of Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please.
Honorable Chairman, colleague, honorable members of Parliament, our legal tendency of this nation, the sovereignty state, is Leo. We know that this is an international document, and you, as a very reputable solicitor who have served in this country, all agreement to say that the equivalent of, if it is in USD, the equivalent of that, the exchange rate of that day. But today, what I have seen throughout this bill is all USD, dollar. Have we abandoned our own legal tendency that everything in this document is, we have dollarized everything? Honorable Chairman, that is my question to this House.
Okay, Chairman, Legislative, any answer? Thank you very much. Less than $300,000 or its equivalent in euros. Yeah. What does that mean? It makes provision for both local and international. So if it's at international level, we stick with the $3,000, but then if it's not, or it's equivalent in Leon. So it makes provision for the payment in Leons as well. That is my question.
I would have loved to see, Honorable Chair, that wherever we have those fines that is not less than $2,000 to Leo equivalent, so that we have our Leo. I feel sad. I know I love to see the green paper in my wallet, but I also value my Leo so much in life that is why I return to Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Clause 3H1, liability of cost for locating, marking, and removal of rec be renumbered to become clause 380. Clause 380, liability of cost for locating, marking, and removal of rec be approved. Clause 382, exceptions be renumbered to become clause 381. Clause 381, exception subclause 1D be amended by replacing the word is with the word R on the fourth line to now read. The International Convention on Civil Liability of Bunker Oil Pollution Damage 2001 as amended, provided that the relevant conventions are applicable and enforced. Clause 383, Financial Security and Compliance Certificates being numbered to become Clause 382, Clause 382, Financial Security and Compliance